You are now tuned to BS3 Network. BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. Queen 3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down. Queen 3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down. It's Queen 3 and King on BS3 Network. Queen 3 and King.
Bring back that beat, DJ. Welcome to another episode of Queen 3 and King.
Yeah.
Maker. Oh yeah, I'd like it too.
That's a new beat. That's new, ain't it?
Yeah, you ain't heard that
It's
one.
been about a few months, a year.
I ain't heard that
It
one.
might be a year already.
I was say it's been longer than a few months.
I ain't heard that one. Wow.
So you're not watching the show?
Oh,
Hold on a second. Whoa.
whoa.
Just because I don't hear the intro don't mean I'm not watching the show.
Just had to get you.
Welcome to another episode of Queen 3 and King. I am your host, King Dog, along with my queens. We'll get to their introductions in just a moment. Today's episode, Femininity, Strength or Weakness. We have special guest host John Yoggi Lewis because we needed to make sure we tell the truth today, unwaveringly and being unafraid.
Fred.
We are live on Roku. Please search BS3 TV and download today. Our YouTube viewers, please click the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, please. Please give StreamYard permission to show your name in the chat. There's a link in the show description or body of the post that you'll need to click. StreamYard.com/Facebook. All right, on to our introductions. Since our season queen is out, we will reverse the order here and start with our baby queen. She is known as Mama Lee, formerly known as Blake's mama. She is now firmly entrenched in the corner of New York Red, Bronx Lee. Even though I saved him because he was about to get put out there. In fact, she actually inquired about his relocating to my property.
I did.
Because he tried to take the whole Vows clan down. Talk to the people, Queen.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy to be here yet again. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. And Mika must have skimped on the
Just don't even.
Jackie number 21 because it's itching her. She's scratching it. It ain't real tight because I saw it move while she was scratching it. So this is the young lady who is out of East Garland, Texas, by way of Tulsa, Oklahoma. She is completely free and off paper now. No ankle monitor. No $75 a month she got to pay to the probation officer and go there. She's free. She can move about like Southwest Airlines say, you're now free to move about the country. She is now free to move about the city and state without further encumberment. This is someone also known as Georgia, TT. She is the educated queen, not the Georgia that Ray Charles was talking about. Talk to the people, queen.
Hey, y'all. Good evening.
Oh, hold it out.
Your head still itching?
But still hurt from the traffic.
Okay. All right, and of course our special guest host John. He's a recurring guest on this show. Much like your favorite sitcoms back in the day.
Yee.
He is the comedian John Yoggi Lewis of Man Talk Mondays. Again, he's somebody who's gonna tell it to you straight, and he's gonna drop some we've been calling them unexpected nuggets, but now we've come to expect them. You know, it shocked us the first few times he was on the show because we didn't think he had it in him. But you
Didn't
know,
think he was smart.
he is he is
Dang.
always extremely generous with his time and come on the show anytime we need his perspective. So, Yogi, glad to have you back, sir.
Hey man, glad to be invited back, man.
They must happy to see you, man.
Right
They happy to see you. Wow.
Okay, I see y'all, good people. I see y'all. Thank you.
Well, he waving.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is filmed. I told you, like your favorite sitcom. This is filmed in front of a studio audience.
Yes.
Yeah. That is. We got a white lady on the front row.
Yeah.
You need to grow up.
Yeah, she come back every week. She don't ever quit laughing.
Be laughing loud. Must be
all right, talk to the people, Queen. How you been, man?
Hey man, been good, man. It's always a pleasure to be back with you guys, man. It's like being at home. It's like a recliner that have your spot in it.
Yeah.
You know, it sit just right when you get in it. That's how you guys are, me, man. You're like an old beat up recliner. Every time I come back, it's comfortable and ready for me to sit in. So appreciate you guys to invite back.
There's that.
Right on. And Man Talk Monday, that is 7 p.m. Central Time on Mondays.
Yes, absolutely.
And it is one of the best podcasts out there, regardless, you know, of where you get your podcast at, you know, whether you get them on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, Facebook, it don't matter. It's one of the best out there, and it's time well spent, to say the least.
And what we tell everybody is, remember, we are professionals. Don't do this at home, okay?
Right. All right, let's see. Do we have any comments? All right, yeah, let's get our comment out of the way, our early comment. We got Ain't Weed in the building. She goes, hey,
hello.
Thank you. All right, let's go on and dig into this. Let's get into our first question here on this topic: femininity, strength, or weakness. And we're gonna start with our guest here and just ask him this question: how would you define femininity?
Well, I would define it as, it's funny, I should look this up, but I want it to be off the top of my head. I didn't want to look it up. I would define femininity as being a woman and being confident in what a woman does and how she acts and carries herself. I think the key word being confidence. Because oftentimes, if we're not confident in something, we will allow it to be misused by people if we don't know who and what we are.
See, I got news for you. It's some folks that may not be able to dig through that one, but I can dig through it, and that if you get that concept, you can get somewhere with it. So I'm with it. Appreciate it. And obviously, the first thing that you said, a woman, even Daniel Webster himself started out with that. Woman or womanly. So South Oak Cliff High School, even though they spelled spring break BRAKE.
We was in a hurry, man. We tried to
get you something. Mika, how would you define femininity?
Google said behavior.
I didn't ask what Google said.
And personality traits, and it gave traits such as sweetness, sensitivity, supportiveness, gentleness, warmth, cooperativeness, expressiveness, modesty, empathy, affection, tenderness, and emotional. And I agree with all of those.
Okay. Let me just take a note or two.
Yes, sir.
Off of that definition. All right, Lily.
I think it's something. I kind of agree with what John said. It's attributes, traits from women that derive from women. I think we've kind of changed that term and used it a bit differently in today's society. But that's really where it kind of derived from.
So, Mika, your Google definition didn't mention the term weakness?
No, sir.
Mine did, interestingly enough.
Did it?
Mine first said, it said it specifically like this: characteristics of women and girls. Gentleness was the first one. Weakness, delicacy, or modesty is how mine was listed, right? I thought that was interesting,
Weakness.
considering the fact that this topic was femininity, strength, or weakness. Because I think this speaks to the confidence that John is speaking of, is that if you would just react or conduct yourself with some confidence in the femininity, then you can do the things that the feminine traits call for, such as gentleness, modesty, cooperative, tenderness, and be effective at it. Okay. So I thought it was interesting that they put weakness in there, right?
It is interesting.
And is that,
or the ability to be weak?
Please jump in.
I just think to be viewed, I think weak might have been misconstrued in this case. I think to be known as the weaker vessel.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing.
Okay.
With me, you don't have to be strong. I got that.
Love it.
Just don't be able to run faster than me, and then we are good.
Fair enough. However, we're talking about Google, and Google don't give a damn about your Christian ethics and scriptures and the weaker vessel, right?
That's true. That's true.
And so that's why I'm like, again, in our society, I think we all have been exposed enough and are enlightened enough in conversations with everybody here to know that sleight of hand is something that is being used on us all the time, right? And sometimes these little subliminal messages or these little, things. So again, yes, that's how I interpret it in my Christian way, right? It's like, yeah, okay, they're the weaker vessel, fine. But that, and again, maybe they just put it out there up for interpretation.
I actually just looked it up and put weak behind it, and it says weaker than masculinity. So maybe that's what they're referring to as well.
Maybe look up masculinity while John is saying what he's saying and see if just regular masculinity without the word strength behind it, do they list masculinity as strength as part of the definition?
Okay.
Go ahead, John.
But I only want to now. This is the thing. Y'all bring me on the show to talk about it. Okay, I think we have fluffed it enough because I'm about to go in there. Okay. I just think we have allowed ourselves to be misrepresented by younger people that are looking at older relationships and saying grandmama was weak for putting up with granddad for what he was doing. They weak for staying there. When the young people don't understand, a sacrifice has to be made in every relationship for the relationship to work.
Boy, you better say that again.
Whether that's made by the dad or whether it's made by mom, and either one could be considered weak at the time for putting up with this.
Boy, you better.
But no relationship stays together without somebody making a sacrifice, and that can be considered as weak depending on who's looking at it.
That's right.
I think Google has been manipulated by the younger people looking at the older relationships and saying, "I think that's weak."
Now we own that. That's exactly where I was going, and well said. And we only 13 minutes and 37 seconds in at the time, and he done already give us what I consider to be 2. So by that ratio, we're getting 2 every 15 minutes. So we ought to be getting 8 by the time. So you got 6 more, so I don't know what you need to do. You got 6 more, at least you got to give us. Let's get to the comments real quick. Lily, I don't know if you were about to add. You were going to do that masculinity thing. Hang on. Let's get these comments and then we'll let you add to that. We got Pastor in the building, Derek Smith. My man, we got to get you on. We got to get you back on real quick too, Pastor, and looking to get your perspective on it because I'm sure you got something to add to this one. And Rita says, "I am the definition of femininity." In a lot of ways, she really is. Now she got some gangster in her. Don't get me wrong whatsoever, but she's got a lot of feminine quality. Yeah. Derek says, "Preach, sir." She don't drink Coors Light, feminine, but she got a lot of feminine quality. Lily, okay, what did that masculinity say? Did it?
When I pull that up, it just says the quality or nature of the male sex, the quality, state, or degree of being masculine or manly.
Okay. So it
Doesn't
didn't have
really
the
say
word strength.
anything about strength or anything like
So
that.
because theoretically, if they're trying to say, femininity is the weaker version of masculinity, then you put strength as the, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So my point is that just like kind of John said, I think Google's throwing a little shade, right? And then we got to look at who, like John says right now, who do you think is running Google? If we walked into Google's headquarters right now, we're not going to see people that look like me and John. Or in our age demographic, right? So like he said, young folks sometimes, and again, I think he hit the nail squarely on the head when he said his grandma has been shunned. Grandma has been disrespected in how she's been looked at and termed as weak. And I got news for you. Sometimes when you talk about those sacrifices, John, and those compromises and those, choosing your battles and picking your battles and stuff like that, I am a firm believer that there is strength in that, to say, hey, I'm sorry when you ain't necessarily wrong about it, whatever.
But I was talking to me and D was talking about this today, and he was like, one thing he said was, hey man, people don't go to college without sacrifices.
That's
people don't become the first people in their family to go to college without somebody down the line sacrificing something, because that opportunity is not given to everybody. Most of the wins that we had, that younger people have, were given because somebody back behind them made a sacrifice for something.
Right.
And they don't. I think they don't understand. They think it just was. How do my kids think that it's what's the word I use?
Privilege, right?
Yeah, there you go. It was privilege to them. Yes.
That's where I was getting ready to go. How can they understand properly put a sacrifice in its proper context when they don't know the difference between rights and privileges?
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? They do not. The average kid, and again, if you nailed them down and you sat them down and you made them answer the question, is this a right or a privilege? They could probably score pretty well on that test, right? Because they're thinking in that way. But if they're moving throughout the course of a day, just randomly, where their mentality is, they don't understand the difference between rights and privileges, and that's across the board. That's the youth of America. It is the reason why they are called the entitlement generation. So again, how can you properly contextualize, if that's a word, John? I know you don't know, but the other two may. How can you properly put it in proper context if you sacrifice what a sacrifice is, and when your mama's sacrificing and when your dad is sacrificing, if you don't know the difference between rights and privilege? Some folks think it's a right to go to Chick-fil-A. No, it's a right to eat.
It's a privilege,
but it's a privilege to go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
that's the reason why Mama used to make them burgers at home with them bell peppers in it. And
what makes you understand about Chick-fil-A is when you want to go on Sundays.
Right.
They close on Sundays. It's a privilege to go from Saturday.
And why you be wanting it bad on Sundays?
Because they told you no. Yes,
right.
That's all we want what we can't have. Society wants what we can't have.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to add anything to that? I think we're off to a good start with that. That had a lot of meat on that bone right there. If not, Miss Producer, we can go ahead and go to the next question here. Before we do that, let's get Derek's comment, especially since he complimented me. It's very important that we
can skip it.
He says you're right about rights and privileges. Yeah, man. It's rampant out there. And again, I say, when I say young people, man, I'm talking 0 to age 25, 27, 28, 29. I'm talking, huh?
It's funny. My daughter's getting married in February, and I want to say she's 30. And I want to say I thought that cutoff was around 25.
Right.
No, it is went up into the 30s.
Yeah. Man.
Because we paying for the wedding, and the more we pay for, the more she's like. We're like, wait. So you're not gonna say you're not gonna pay for nothing? And she's like, well, no, I thought y'all got. I mean, it's
that's a good one, John.
It's amazing because we sit back and you pay all this money. I'm not going to even go into how much weddings place cost.
Ooh,
a lot.
Ooh.
So then when it comes to the wedding dress, I'm like, well, listen, I don't know what money tree y'all think we got in the backyard, but it ain't got no money when I look back there. And she's fine with sitting back, allowing us to try to figure out how we're gonna pay for this. She is perfectly fine figuring that out. So we had a conversation about the wedding dress. She said, every time she comes to me with a wedding dress, it's like $2,000 or $5,000. I say, well, because every time she showed me, I say, well, hey, how much is that dress? Hint. How much is that dress? Oh, it's $2,500. I look at my wife.
I say $2,500 like it ain't nothing, ain't it?
Like it ain't
because it ain't coming out of her account.
Like it ain't every time she comes to me about something, I'm asking about the money to make her aware.
Yeah.
Consider it.
That's more money. That's more money.
And a lot of times when you're doing that, you be like, oh, that's not too bad. They can handle that.
Well, what's funny, John, is that's a tradition, right? That a lot of young folks may not know, right? That typically the family of the bride pay for the wedding, right? But that is a tradition that has, guess what? Isn't it funny, John, that all the other traditions that make them do some shit they done forgot about, but the one that helped them, they know.
Look at John's face.
Because it's funny. It's fun. I don't want to get in trouble. All I do is play about money. But and that's because, let me explain it. That's because I want to make sure we always have more than enough. Because it's my job to cover.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's right. So when the wedding first came up, I was thinking that we were going to sit down at a table and talk about who was going to do what.
Yeah.
I'm still sitting at the table by myself and all the stuff going on around me. So, because me and Cheryl went to the I was sharing with Doc earlier. Me and Cheryl went to Justice of the Peace.
Yeah.
So I just had to buy her ring and that was it.
That's right.
So I think Cheryl is vicariously living this wedding through Janae.
Oh.
Right. And so it was so my wife told me when we was in the car, so we paying for the wedding. I was like, who?
You got a mouse in your pocket or something? We
paying for it. And so I'm like, well, have you guys got a budget? Because my biggest thing, okay, so what we doing? Because weddings can go as far in the line as where you want to go. Right. And so we got it down to
that dog it. Take a drink, take a sip of water.
Okay.
Breathe.
You're okay.
Don't go your hands up like
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get it, but we got it down to 20.
God.
And I thought, hey man, listen, because you're gonna be in the backyard if you get a little cheaper than that. I'm telling you right now. You go.
I'm gonna say this, yeah. And John, I don't say stuff like this, right? But I'm gonna say this because it's too funny to me now. John is my boy, right? Me and John, we go meet for lunch every now and then or whatever. Yeah. So I sent him some lunch money the other day because he's always so generous with his time, right? So I sent him some lunch money and say, hey, take your out to lunch.
You sure did.
And before that Cash App hit, that phone was ringing. I said, I see why. This nigga was happy here. Thank you, man. He ain't been out to eat.
You wrote for that, dude. You wrote.
He found so quick.
but it's funny though when our children are planning their lives and doing their thing. We're such a selfish. We raised our kids to be so selfish that they don't even consider us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's true.
Wow, it's like. Wow, you don't even think enough, and it's not a bad thing. This is my fault. I'm not gonna put this on nobody.
No, and that's what I like about it. He's taking responsibility for it.
You don't think enough of us to say, "Hey, y'all paying for this venue out of $20,000 that y'all didn't have." So I'm going to do this. And let me tell you this. Let me just say this so we get back to the subject. If you waiting for your kids to say, "Oh, mom or dad, I got that. Don't worry about that," you gonna be waiting.
Yeah.
They're not going to volunteer to do anything.
Yeah.
What? You got 20, you can't get 30?
Yeah.
You got 30, you can't get. It's like you can never.
You're right.
It's never enough.
Yeah, never enough. Never
Yeah.
know.
That's a topic in and of itself, especially the part when you talked about, I thought the line was at 25. Now it may be into their 30s.
Yes.
And
exactly.
again, think about it. Just like they've said 30 is the new 40 or 40 is the new 50 or excuse me, 40 is the new 30 and 50 is the new 40 and 60 is the new 50, whatever. 30 is the new 20.
No
in that
lie.
same way, right?
That's so true.
You
They
said
lied.
it in terms
They
of
lied when they said 50 new 40. They lied to me. You lied to me. No, it ain't either. 50 is 50.
Trust me. Before we went on the air, I was just telling wifey about. I said I done named 4 ailments to you just sitting here. She was, we were doing a little cuddling for the show, and I said I done named 4 ailments to you in 5 minutes. You sure? This what you want? Okay. Let's get some of these comments, and then we'll go to the next question. Chef Jeff in the building. His show aired a little early today. I think it was like 6 o'clock. So go to YouTube and check that out. See what he cooking today. He says, "What up, folks?" We got Keisha in the building. She goes, "Hello, party people." Ain't we that says the groom's supposed to pay for the honeymoon, but the majority of them don't.
Oh yeah, the groom's family. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And you notice how that ain't publicized as much as the wife. My dad is supposed to be paying for the wedding. Jeff said, I tried to go to Vegas, but Doc family wasn't having it. Okay, right on. He goes, I wanted to get married by Elvis. And Derek said, Mika said, you okay?
Okay.
And Ain't Weeda said, Dawkins, I want a sliced brisket for lunch without barbecue. Okay, I got you. All right, next question. Is that is femininity a strength or a weakness? All right, let's start with Mika on this one. Is femininity a strength or a weakness?
Definitely a strength, because if you're paying attention to all the things that I named, gentle, tender, all of those things, being able to be kind, being able to submit, all of that can be considered a weakness, but I feel like it's a strength if you're able to walk in it, if you're able to sit in it, if you're able to for that to be exposed, if you're able to be vulnerable to that with your man. So I've considered it a strength because some people don't look at it that way.
All right, Lily, femininity,
I
strength.
completely agree with what Mika said. That's a strength to be able to show those attributes and live in those. And
hang on, let me tell you. Hang on, let's slow down. Attributes, John. So attributes is kind of like characteristics, qualities.
John almost pushed him out for you.
I'm surprised. I'm like, what is he doing? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, baby.
But just being able to walk in that, but not only you being able to walk in that, having a partner being able to show that side of them too. That's a strength. You don't always do, and it's been times where I haven't been able to do that with somebody I'm with, but I didn't feel confident to do that, like at all. So having a partner that you can do that with and vice versa, that's strength.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good point, Alicia.
Yeah.
It's a few people you can't do that with because I got to be the thug in this relationship. I got to pay the bills. I got to be this. I ain't got time to be hard.
Well, if you stop talking back, you won't have to be all that. I'm sorry, I got carried away.
It's your turn, so go ahead.
Okay, all right. Then.
He got a little bass in his voice.
So it's supposed to be a strength, but I think depending on what the agenda is, it can be a weakness. Because most of the time you have to want to be covered. A lot of women today don't want to be covered. They don't want to be covered. They want to eliminate men from vocabulary. They want to put strap-on-ons and all this. They don't want none of that. So I think as much as this is meant to be a strength, I think it's a weakness, and I think it's being used against them because women don't understand what their place is and what their role is.
John, you better eat.
Because they don't understand. They fight for them. You know, it's funny when you in school, people make fun of the things that they don't understand. If a guy's real smart, rather than embracing him in his strength, we talk about it and make him feel bad about it and make him hide from it. And that's the same thing we do with femininity.
Wow.
Rather than embracing it, we make people feel bad about being girly girls. Or now we're trying to make her be a tomboy because we want her to fit into an agenda that we have. So again, I say it's a strength as well as a weakness, depending on what the agenda is.
Yeah, man. Right. Okay, let me say this. Earlier, I said John had 6 more. He only got about 4 more now because he got 2 out the way in that whole thing right there. But again, I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to Wifey, okay? Because one of the reasons why she fits into our family so well, in my humble opinion, is the fact that she is so strong. The women in our family are some strong women, okay? And I mean that in the most complimentary way you can possibly get, right? But she is the sweetest individual that I know, right? And I've never seen somebody who wants to operate in her femininity as much as she does. She wants to. Okay.
Well, because if you understand it, it's your strength.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
you can take a dude down.
You can change the world with that, but you got to know that you can. And most women don't know that they can, so they go the other way.
She makes a concerted effort to do so, and I make a concerted effort to compliment her when she does, because I see it, because again, just like a lot of Black women, our moms included, right, that have had to be single Black moms, they've had to do it. So, so it is not fair for men. Sometimes we are not patient enough with these women either into letting them transition into that, right? They have had to do it so long. They ain't gonna go to sleep and wake up and automatically be shit. You can't turn that off no more than we could turn it off if one day we got married to some rich lady, white lady, John, for your intensive purposes. We got married to some rich white lady. She started paying all the bills and we didn't have to worry about nothing. We ain't gonna be able to just turn that off.
Well, as long as safe spaces are created to where people can talk and grow together. Because one of the misconceptions about relationships is we growing, but are we growing together or are we growing apart? Right. So a safe space has to be created for that woman or that guy that's trying to learn how to be more masculine or feminine. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah.
Because listen, we know who we with. Now, whoever you with, the funny thing about relationships is, for example, I'm gonna use this for my wife Cheryl. She is very inquisitive. Now, Cheryl has been inquisitive since I was dating her. She hadn't changed since I married her. I was outside changing the light on the car, and she was out there in the way. And I'm looking at her, and when I say in the way, she was trying to figure out how everything was going on. And I'm like, won't you go in the house and be? I didn't say this, but my thought was and be feminine. Go in there and make some lemonade or something. Go do something. But that's not who she is. That's not who she's ever been. So once I started embracing and welcoming her to become who she is and who she was now she changed all. I'm in there watching the football game. Going out there, rotate the tires, change the brakes. Don't do that because it takes a special person to compliment somebody on what they strengths are and what yours are. Right. But again, you're attracted to them by that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. And we in this, it's kind of to a certain extent we're talking about femininity, and part of it is because we see so much women being talked about or ridiculed for operating in their masculine energy, right? Well, I'm telling you, it is important as a man for you to be in touch with your feminine energy. If you are not in touch with your feminine energy, you cannot respect the feminine nature of your wife.
It makes it tough for you when you have daughters, because when my daughter was small, the ones getting married, I used to wrestle with her when she was little, and I could pick up and throw her around. And all of a sudden, I picked up one day and stuff was moving, and I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And I put it down and say, "Baby, you too big. Daddy can't wrestle with you anymore." Yeah. Now she needs Daddy to show his femininity if there is any. And I came up with 3 brothers, and my mom was hard on us, so it was hard for me. It was hard for me to relate to her in that. And it took me talking to my wife about, hey, I don't know how to relate to a little girl. Brothers, we rough and tough, we ready.
Right.
But again, it starts with a conversation.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, let's get some of these comments out the way. And then wait a minute. Did anybody ask? Did everybody answer that question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay. Derek says the weakness the Bible talks about is a reminder of men how to handle their wives. 100%.
Yeah.
Weta says there is no yes or no answer. I think it depends on the circumstance on whether femininity is a strength or weakness, right? Yeah. That lines up with John's answer. He said strap-ons. He did.
That tickled me.
See, I'm gonna tell you how impressed I was with the rest of his answer. I was so impressed with the rest of his answer. I was willing to ignore it. I was just gonna keep rolling because the rest of his answer was so good. And obviously you were too, Pastor, because you said, John, nigga, you is preaching. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is a good one. Derek said, my wife is my feminine side. Love you.
I heard that.
Oh, that's good.
Because that's where we go. That's where we go to get it from. That's why I go to.
That's where I go to get it from.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
He's so annoying.
Definitely. Okay. Next question, Ms. Producer. Are men and women equal? Who hadn't started one? Lily, you hadn't started one?
Don't start with
me. Men and women equal. Go for it.
We are not equal.
Wow.
We aren't.
Now tell me, before you get the rest of your answer, why didn't you want to go first on this?
Because the
backlash that come with that, with the truth.
Yes, but men and women are not equal. We weren't created to be equal. But I think folks don't understand that. And it's not a slight to women. It's not a slight to men. We're just not equal. There's a reason why there's always, even conversations, even if you look at like the Olympics where we have, the whole transgender stuff happening. Right. Men want to compete with women and that being a whole topic of discussion. That's because we're not equal.
Right.
So it wouldn't be fair. So no, we're not equal.
Okay.
Simple question. It's a simple answer.
John, are men and women equal?
I'm gonna have to agree with Lily on this one. Which I'm shocked. I'm just as shocked as the rest of y'all. So don't be writing me, send me hate mail and all this. I'm just shocked as y'all are. But again, we are both great in our own ways.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we understand that, because when you don't understand why you're supposed to be great or how you're great, now you tend to be misused or misrepresented. Mm-hmm. I think we are both great. My wife, again, is the strongest person I know. My wife has willed stuff. Her strength is not like my strength. I can pick up stuff. She ain't picking up nothing, but she can will things. She willed my daughter through college. She wills a lot of stuff. And I'm like, wow, because her superpowers, like mine are, is different. But we still great in our own different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So I completely agree with you.
Love it. Mika, are men and women equal?
No. And nothing to add on to what John or Alicia said, but it's not designed that way. So,
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm glad I write down what I'm about to say, so that way it won't look like I'm trying to steal what Derek say, because he basically said the same thing I said, which we'll get to in a minute. But I wrote down equally important, but not equal. Okay, and that just came to me during this thing. Are men and women equal? They are equally important, but not equal.
And I even thought about, like, in the aspect of corporate America, our paychecks aren't equal. That's but that's another topic of discussion.
Yeah, and so that makes some people real mad on that one. So sort of what John was saying, this next aspect of this question for me, when John was talking about his wife willed something to take place. See, men were created with position power. Women were created with influence power. Mm-hmm. Okay, and to prove that point, I take you back to Adam and Eve, right? Adam had the position. Yeah. He was placed there first. Eve was brought in to be his helpmate, right? Created from his rib, all that. We know that story. She influenced him to eat this apple. You understand what I'm saying? You see that she was operating in her femininity by getting him to eat it. It was her influence that got him to eat it. Her feminine wiles, right? To get him to eat it. So that's the difference. Okay, again, it's a different type of power. They both can be abused, but they're different. So again, we're not equal, but we're equally as important. And that leads us to some of the comments. Ain't we to say it to this question? Are men and women equal? Hell no.
Hell no.
And then Derek said basically the same thing I said. Men and women are equal in value, but not in function. And that's 100% correct. So anybody have anything else to add on that question? Are men and women equal?
No,
yeah. And I think somebody said it. It's no slight to either gender, you know. And unfortunately, this question, it's an age-old question now, right? You know, ever since, you know, shit, at least the early 60s, right? And a very contentious point, you know, in conversation. And shit, before Black Lives Matters protest was taking place, these feminine equality protest was taking place.
Well, before we go to the next one, let me say this. It's funny that we were. I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around actually the argument of who's more, who are they equal to, women equal to men? Because as much as women, I believe, fight to be equal to men, I'm not sure that's what you want. Because now when you get that, chivalry is out the door. Now you get to work some of the jobs that we work that you don't want to work. You get to open your own doors. You get to stand up on the buses. You get to which seems like a little thing, but when you on these trains and stuff, and all these men sitting down and push their way to seats, and you standing up and you looking at them like, why can't I sit down? I'm telling you, it starts off small.
Yeah,
it's a small, but it adds up after a while.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But again, I think it's on the agendas that we're trying to accomplish at that time.
And forgive me, now it's time. That leads perfectly, John, into the video that we have uploaded based on this topic that I should have played early on, but I think this is a great point, a great time to play it, and this is what inspired this topic today.
You're saying partnership, that doesn't mean to listen. Relationship and marriage doesn't mean slave. Slavery is a different word. You're just making up things. You like the word partnership because it makes you more equal to the man. That's what I'm trying to say. You've been socially constructed to believe in equalness. If you peel the layer back, it's feminism. So you've been socially constructed to believe that a man is equal to a woman and a woman is equal to a man. So you don't feel comfortable. It makes you feel insecure when you hear the word relationship and marriage because it feels like you have less power. Let's think about who has power, right? You get a man and he's taking care of all the bills. He's sacrificing his time to provide you a comfortable life. So guess what? That means that you don't have to be out in the time out. Let's listen. That means that you don't have to be out in the workforce and competing with the world. That woman is a powerful woman, that she's so feminine that she got a masculine man to sacrifice his time to give her a comfortable life. That's power and femininity. So you're looking at it wrong. You're confusing it and you're twisting it. What you're doing is you're looking at femininity as being weak. What is weak is a masculine woman that wants to compete with another man that she'll never win.
Miss Producer, take this note down. When I start talking, sometimes when you think I'm going to say something good, start playing soft music. Because when you play soft music under what you're saying, it make it seem like you're saying some real good shit, don't it?
You're not at church preaching.
So any initial thoughts on that video by anybody?
He wasn't ready to receive.
Yeah,
and she was ready to argue even in that moment.
How many times did he have to tell her? He pleaded. Listen. And he wasn't even saying that in a mean way. But
no, just listen.
Half the people who listened to that thought it was mean for him to say, listen.
No.
You could tell he was saying it in a caring way, like, listen. Like,
but she wasn't trying to hear him. She was just already forming her response.
She was listening,
she wasn't even taking it in.
She was listening to respond versus to receive. Right. She didn't hear nothing that man said. She didn't care. She don't care about nothing he said about being feminine. She wanted to be right.
Yeah.
That's the girl that looked at her grandmother and said, "I'll never be like my grandmother."
Oh wow! Hey, that's strong right there, man.
Ooh, that's
and think about it, man. When that used to be said, we done all heard that said time and time again. When that used to be said, we thought nothing of it, did we? We didn't understand the weight of that statement.
No.
But think about it now, how heavy that hits when he says it.
Shoot, John.
You know, and what they should have said is that I want to take the most positive characteristics of my grandmother. Mm-hmm. Sure, there are some. Each generation should be better than the next. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But, okay. Let me peel this back. Let me peel this back for y'all. Listen.
Come on, John.
Grandmama made some of the same mistakes that y'all made. Yeah. She just was willing to pay for hers, and you're not willing to pay for yours. Grandma wasn't perfect. Grandma was out there getting that groove thing on. Grandma wasn't perfect. Grandma had 10 kids.
Show them how to do it now. Show them how to do it.
I'm just saying, Grandma had 10 kids. To make that thing work with Granddaddy.
Yeah, man.
Drop your cash app so we can see you 25 cents.
And help him pay this wedding. Now let's go fund me for this wedding.
He's okay.
The only difference between grandmama and us today, we don't want to pay for our mistakes.
Man, that's
grandmama paid for hers. That's the only difference between us and grandmama kept her kids. You keep dropping yours off.
Accountability.
I'm just listening. And then we look at her and say she weak for standing on business. Y'all standing on that bush. That's what y'all doing. And then want to talk about grandmama week. Y'all better cut that out. Somebody need to tell them. Somebody need to tell them. Because y'all standing on bush.
John, you better tell the people.
Okay.
I don't even want to say nothing right now.
Listen. What can you say?
Listen.
Because grandma wasn't perfect. See, and the thing is, grandma wasn't perfect. Grandma made mistakes just like we did. Grandmama had a life. Grandmama had boyfriends. She ran the men, and vice versa. They weren't perfect. They're just like us.
This the clip. This the clip right here.
Yeah, man.
But they was willing to stand. They was willing to stand on their business to stay together to make things work and do whatever they had to do. We're not willing to do that. Our trifling, sorry ass is not willing to do that. But we willing to get on her and talk about them and say that they was weak. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Not understanding that they're stronger than we'll ever be.
I mean,
you able to get on here and do. You able to get on here and do what you do because they did that.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't nothing that you did.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here, come on. Let's get to these comments now because Derek will say something in a minute. Okay, let's catch up on these comments right quick. All right, he says,
I didn't even expect you to have no heat like this today.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's why I call the Joker.
I said it to him just because of how I treat John.
Derek said, Pastor said, equality is a myth. Everyone wants to dominate. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
You ain't lying. We might need to have a part 2 on this. In fact, Pastor Smith, I want you to join us for part 2. Okay, let's have an old-fashioned Man Talk Monday Queen 3 and King reunion on part 2 of this topic.
Yeah, this
and
is
Pastor,
good.
I want you to help me with some of the aspects we need to discuss about this. Okay.
Yeah, read the last 4 words.
Yeah, he said, equal voice equals equal blame. God, dog, man. He said, if we don't share responsibility when things go wrong, we're not in a partnership. Equal voice equals equal blame. God, dog, man.
They don't want that.
God, dog. And ain't we to say it? John, you said a mouthful. And then Pastor said that John, them thinking granddaddy was the one that fought and grandmama was the victim is the picture of inequality. You ain't lying, man.
Hey, man,
I'm not gonna be on here with John and Derek. I might cry.
I ain't lying. That's so good.
Man. It's like I mean, this is so good to me. I want to come back on tomorrow and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to wait to down the road for a part 2. That's how strong this is as far as I'm concerned, man.
This is good.
And somebody, if their mindset is right, if their perspective is right, some young folks that's listening to this, hey, if you care anything about young folks, put them in front of this. Seriously. And let them get some of this.
Seriously. But Ted, I'm tripping because I got a lot of things out of that video, but not being like my grandma was one. But that should have been the first thing that I saw because I'm gonna be better than anybody that was in my family. I'm not gonna do this with her. I'm not gonna do this with him. So that's what she was portraying.
See, y'all don't have kids like I got kids. Yeah, you gotta have kids that's close. You gotta have kids that you wrestle with every day. It ain't even every day no more. It's every day. Yeah. You got see, y'all don't have that. See, I can see this. I can look right out here and I can see we're wrestling them down where they think they know better. They think they're gonna do better. You like, But if you know better, you do better. You keep doing the same stupid stuff because you needed what we needed. That was a foot in your behind, and we failed to give it to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. When we do it, we the assholes in such a major way. It's not even funny.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, me and John pre-show was talking about this and our comfortability in being basically the bad guy, so to speak, of being, comfortable with knowing who we are in terms of our family position and not needing to be reminded of it, not needed to be patted on the back for it. You better be comfortable being what you need to be as a man without the parade. Because that shit ain't coming. Just like you waiting on to talk about the budget for the wedding. You wait at the same table. Those are held at the same table. That and the parade are at the same table. Ain't nobody gonna be there but you.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy. Everybody want to be the one that's agreeable. Like we said earlier, how we got here was people making fun of women femininity. What? That's what makes
like you weak. You do it. Yeah, think about that. We done been around where somebody make fun of the fact that she get up and gonna make his plate.
Yeah,
we done been around.
Exactly. Wait, and been married 30 years, and you can't keep a husband, but yet you making fun of what she doing, and got three kids by three baby daddies. And she getting up with the plate.
Girl, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
And got an opinion, got something to say about it. And got something to say about it. If y'all don't stop again,
I wouldn't be doing all that. I wouldn't. That's.
But even like y'all have talked about, like women saying, "I won't be like my grandma." That's actually their flex. Like, they live like that's a flex.
Right. Right.
Right.
And just like John said, because grandma did what grandma did, gave you the reason to run your mouth in such a stupid way.
That part.
Next question. I think we probably done answered it, but let's go ahead and just tackle it for
one of the things though, we don't, and I hate this, I don't want to make this a people thing, but we gotta understand when we winning. We so accustomed to losing and watching good times, and even when we winning, we think we're supposed to be losing, or we ain't gonna be winning long. To where when we see people that's winning, then we got to put our mouth on it, or we got to talk it down. We got to talk it down until they start losing. Yeah.
And here's the thing, John. They don't know what a win is. That's what I wanted to write down. That they can't understand and recognize a win because they don't know what a win is. And I got news for you. Go to your closet. If you got one outfit in there that still got the tags in, that is a win. Tags on it. That is a win.
Most of us got overflow. We can get in our closet. Most of us got I can't get nothing else in my closet. You hear me? I can't get nothing else in there, and we winning. And oftentimes we so conditioned to when we win and thinking that the bottom finna fall out to where we can't win in peace. It's worrying us to be winning. Or now we gotta look at grandmama and see how they was doing, and granddad see how they were doing, and we don't want that. Girl, if you don't hush your mouth, because because people trying to tell you. And I gotta say, listen, be quiet, listen 3 times rather than saying, girl, shut up. Would you shut up? Would you shut up?
They can't. They ain't. You got to recognize a win to appreciate it. They don't. And I'm telling you, don't think for 1 minute when I'm scrolling through this closet trying to pick think about the fact that you get to decide what you got we finna wear. And it take you that long to decide it. That in and of itself is overflow.
See, because y'all may not went through when we were younger with my mom, my single mom. It was tough, but we was going from house to house trying to stay with our friends until they got tired of us.
Dog,
y'all, that's tough, and that builds character.
Yeah,
that builds stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah,
that builds success. And whereas our kids didn't have to go through that because they didn't see us struggle like that.
Yeah, man. And see, this is part of the failure for us, right? Me and Craig talk about this all the time. John, as a result, it motivated you in a way to make sure your kids didn't have to experience that.
Absolutely.
And as a result, you put the silver spoon in their mouth.
And they ain't worth a damn. Now, I
can't remember. It was one pastor who said, hard times create strong men.
Yes.
And strong men produce weak seed. It's because when we are in that, we done experienced that. We done had to go through that. We done had to go through those hard times that he talked about, and we just say, okay, our kids ain't gonna want for nothing. They ain't gonna have to, they ain't gonna have to. They can eat as many grapes as they want to. They ain't got to go ask nobody. If you want the grapes, just go get them. You can eat. I remember one time telling my first wife, hey, when the kids, she got mad because they ate up all the Doritos the same day we bought groceries, and I said, well, go buy some more Doritos. They ate them all. You don't see them laying all over the floor nowhere. They didn't waste them. They ate them. Let them go, right? So to a certain extent, our kids don't even know how good they had it because we didn't let them struggle for anything. We didn't say no enough. But see, I said no more. I said no more than the average, and that still wasn't no enough.
But the problem is, I know my mother, my parenting was my mom and dad's was so far right, and mine was so far left to where there's no middle. There's no. Well, we're trying to get the kids because it's funny. I talked to my mom about my kids, and all she do is laugh at me because all we said was, I'm not gonna parent like y'all did. And the results, she just laughs and says, well, okay, because if you ain't gonna spank them, if you're not gonna put healthy fear in kids, then you're gonna have hell. You're gonna have hell on your hands.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening.
You gotta humble them sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. They're growing up.
But that's the thing I respect the most about what John has said. He has taken responsibility for the outcome. And too often, people in our age demographic or older who talk about these kids, or these young folks, we're not accepting the fact that we did it.
Yeah, we did that.
We did it.
Yes, we did that.
They didn't just come out like this by happenstance. We had what we thought good reasons. And guess what? Even though we did it, John, I'm not even kicking us for it. Because guess what? We did just like grandma did the best she did with what she had and whatever. We did the best we did with what we had. We thought we were doing the right thing. We thought we were doing the best that you follow what I'm saying? So in essence, we did the best we could with what we had. Some mistakes, yes, a lot of it was some mistakes. But charge it to our heads and not to our hearts. Our next question was going to be, has society confused the issue? But I think that the answer to that question has already been given throughout the course of the show. Is that society has most definitely confused this issue, and tried to make femininity about something else, and again, part of that may be because again, they playing chess and we playing checkers. If you need to ask me who the they is and who the we is, then this conversation probably not for you. They playing chess, we playing checkers. Okay, and they got us arguing about something that is inarguable, right? With this issue of femininity versus, because if this issue is not correctly deployed, it weakens the family unit. And if the family unit is weakened, then our community is weakened.
Yeah. They
playing chess. We playing checkers. And sometimes we ain't even playing the regular checkers. We playing Chinese checkers. The cheap version. I think they invented that shit for us because that game was the $1.99 while regular checkers was $3.99 and chess was $7.99. They playing chess. We playing checkers. You remember Sugar Ray Leonard, John? He used to wind up with one hand and hit you with the other.
Yeah.
He getting you distracted. You watching that fist. Okay, wait a minute. They about to hit us. And they done already snuck you with that other hand.
And you don't even see it coming. Yeah.
You don't even know
That's
it.
what it is. But it is why the discussions like this are uber important, because it allows some people to be enlightened and awakened. Now this is too funny. Go ahead, John. But this is too funny. Now Mavs and 9. This he started out Mavs and 4. Then he said, then he said 7. Now he said Mavs and 9. I love it. Go ahead, John.
Oftentimes when we hadn't been spoken into like we're supposed to by our fathers.
Oh man,
we often grow up and become something that we weren't never supposed to be because we allow the wrong people to tell us who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. Oftentimes, I notice that my kids, they don't listen to me; they listen to their friends. As I'm trying to speak into their lives, and they got me turned off. And they listen to their friends. And then after they done went through the hell in the world, and they circle back and they're like, "Hey, Dad, remember when you was talking about?" We have to be educating these young people and telling these young people, you better get your behinds in there and listen to grandma while she's talking because she's saying something. We need the kids don't have anybody speaking into their lives like they're supposed to, so they don't know who they are. And because they don't know who they are, the world will tell you who you are, but it's gonna come at a price. Now that little boy got high heels on.
I don't think they understand that. I don't think they understand that one right there. When you said the world will tell you who you are, but it's gonna come at a price.
Oh, it's gonna come at a price. It ain't free. It's gonna come at a price.
And it ain't gonna be one you want to pay.
The little boy got high heels on, and the girl got a strap on. I'm just saying that you can either get it from home or you get it from world, because the world is gonna fit its agenda. The world is gonna complete its agenda. So you can either get it at home or you get it from the world.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, just when he talks about fathers pouring into their kids, in the last 72 hours, 2 of my 4 daughters, I have had to remind who they are and why they experience what they experience. You are a champion. It's exceptional. That's why you're gonna go through that. You are a high value target, was the words I used. I said you're a high value target. Folks trying to get at you. It ain't gonna do it. Thieves don't break into empty houses. Yeah, they go to the rich neighborhood to steal. Somebody used to say in church, "My God, today." And I'm telling you, boy, if I ain't got nothing. See, a lot of folks think too that when we talking this, when we having shows like this, when John's talking, John's getting something out of what he's saying. We're not the only one getting something out of what we're saying. John getting something out of it. He's teaching himself just as much as he's teaching us.
Yeah.
Because one thing I tell my kids, man, listen, I don't have all this together. I don't have it all together. There are no books on great parenting and talk. The worst thing that can happen a lot of times is you speak to the world and your kids don't listen to you.
Yeah.
The world listens to you and your kids won't.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. Yeah, that's why, I oftentimes, and people that I'm friends with and stuff like that, we will often talk about pouring into each other's kids, because sometimes they'll listen to more than they'll listen to me, for whatever, as if there could be anybody in this world that could be for your well-being, that can want more for you than your mama and your daddy. There are nobody that can want more for you than that.
You're right.
But for whatever reason, we had the question up there, has society gotten this twisted? Or no, do we have it twisted? That's what we have twisted. That question we didn't get. That's what we have twisted, is the fact that somebody could actually want more for you than your mama can want for you, or your daddy can want for you. It's not possible. Consider the source. What they gonna get out of it? What am I gonna get out of telling you wrong? Derek said, the only man I know who can fit strap on in a conversation twice. Hey, and in 2 very different parts of the conversation.
Yeah. Hey, there is an agenda to be made. Either you're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. You just got to figure out which one it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, unbeknownst to us, we are part of the problem, and that's just a fact. And if you are not comfortable enough in who you are to come to that realization and admit that, you're gonna continue to be part of the problem. Sometimes I am the problem.
Yeah.
I'm not just part of that motherfucker, John. I am that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well, see,
sometimes under this roof, I did the shit. I used the broom that was supposed to be for the bathroom and not for the kitchen, because my wife said, I don't know how you usually do it, but I need 2 brooms. One for the bathroom and one for the kitchen. And I ain't touched that bathroom broom.
It makes sense. It makes sense, though. It does. I get it. It does make sense. It does make sense.
Hey, but John, I grabbed the wrong broom one day. Shit, I'm sorry. Hey, I ain't never had two brooms. CJ said, I'm gonna use that quote, Doc. I like that. I don't know when, but I'm gonna use that for sure. Hey, yes, sir. All right, that's it. Let's get final thoughts here and wrap this one up. We definitely, Pastor, again, please join us for part 2. And let's do an old-fashioned. I wouldn't mind even getting the Man Talk producer on with us. Look at her. Put Derek comment up here. He said, "You better not put that pissy broom in it." I love it. I love it. Yeah, she gonna say that shit like I've been nasty all my life. I don't know how you usually do it. I need 2 brooms. One for the bathroom and one for the kitchen.
I ain't never paid attention to that broom before. I paid attention to that from now. I'm like,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna start giving people for Christmas. I'm getting everybody a second broom. Hey. All right. Final thoughts. Let's start with the baby queen.
John, thank you so much for coming tonight. It was so good. You dropped so many nuggets that this is one I want to go back and watch again for sure. Just because there was so much in it. I think we just need to do better. And this is going to kind of sound, I think it's similar to Final Thoughts last week. We got to do better as a community at embracing this. Like, this is something that's looked at as a weakness, and it's not. We have to find strength in that and how we navigate it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
All right. Educated Queen, final thoughts.
John, you ate tonight a few times. I appreciate it. Yeah. I don't know where you getting it from. It got to be from the Lord, because it's not. And about the topic, y'all may need to sit back and look at some of the things that I do, because if you want to be feminine and all those things that come with it, you have to have a partner that is going to allow you to flourish within it as well. Mm-hmm. So making sure you have a partner that allows you to sit in that and and to tolerate it and to help it grow. So I mean, the topic was deep, made me think, and I think that's about it.
Yeah. Before I go to John, I got to put this comment up one more time. You better not put that pissy broom in the kitchen, because the word pissy don't get used as often as it used to. And we need to bring it back, because Mama used to say that, sit your little piss ass down somewhere.
Yes.
Like, we just don't use that word enough. It's borderline cuss word, but it's not.
It's on the edge. It's on the cusp.
It's on the cusp.
Pissing. That's why I use pissing in my sentence. All right,
no kidding.
So one of the things that we have to understand, people, all my panel members and most of my friends and colleagues that I associate with, we're winners and we're doing it the right way. But the problem is we're doing it the right way in silence. We need to be more vocal about what we're doing and how we're doing it, because people are watching us. It's more of us than it is the people that are doing it the wrong way. But they making all the noise.
The silent minority.
They're making all the noise. It's just like that pissy broom in the bathroom. Listen, that broom know where it's supposed to be. Do we know where we're supposed to be?
Okay.
We're supposed to be the ones out making all the noise. While that pissy broom is in the kitchen, get it out of there and you get outside. Pissy broom, you get out of that kitchen. You get out of that kitchen. And all y'all Negroes, y'all get outside. That's my final thoughts.
What John just did, kids, let me just explain to the class what John just did. That is called personification. It is when you give an inanimate object personal qualities. When he said that pissy broom, no, it ain't supposed to be in the kitchen. That is personification at its best. He could teach a high school course off that. Yeah. All right, Pastor said, looking forward to joining the conversation. Absolutely. For me, my final thoughts are inspired by, I think is what Vika said when she says we have to find the strength in it. And so it immediately made me think about the intended use of something. Mm-hmm. We've all taken something. You know how anything you can touch is a hammer? We done all been there, right? We at the house and we need to nail something out. And we just grab whatever feel heaviest and we use it as that, as a hammer. And what happens half the time is that thing breaks or we mess up whatever we're trying to do or whatever, because we are using it outside of its intended purpose, right? It is the reason why we got to find strength in femininity. It is the reason why femininity is viewed as a weakness, because it is being used outside of its intended purpose. And those are my final thoughts.
Bless you.
Yeah, play that soft music, shit.
You want to be that video so bad.
Play that soft music, shit. All right, next week, I don't know what the topic is going to be, but we'll come back with something good, just like we have been. We back. Y'all ain't noticed. Queen 3 and King is back, and we hitting our stride.
Yeah.
And so, this season is off to a fantastic start. Like I said, again, every Tuesday at 7:00 Central Time here on BS3 Network, a Roku TV channel. You can look at it online. You can watch it in a whole bunch of ways. If you work this shift, you can watch us at work. You can watch us on your AirPods or your whatever you call them. It's a bunch of different ways. Again, wherever you find your podcast, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, you can find the podcast. And John, tell the folks where they can find you, your comedian stuff. Are you going to be performing anywhere? Let us know when you move. All that.
You can find me Man Talk Mondays on Facebook on my on a Man Talk Monday page, Derek Smith's page, or my page at John Lewis. My handles are at Yoggi Lou and John Lewis on all social media platforms. As back, I'm about to get back in the kitchen to get back on the stage, man. I'm trying to do it. I want to release an album the album is gonna be called 2025. So don't ask me when it's coming out. It's gonna be out 2025. Okay.
Yes, indeed. Heard that.
Let me know. I'm gonna come out and support, man. You know, my wife is a huge comedy fan too, so all I got to do is say let's, and she gonna say go. So
most women, bro.
Yeah. So we appreciate you. Again, Monday night, 7:00, Man Talk Mondays. Those GMs come every week, and they are coming in spades because Pastor Smith is there delivering them just as well. Man,
we got a good one next Monday. We got a good one, really good one next Monday. Let me see. We're gonna put the flyer out tomorrow, but we're supposed to have a guest on that does what she talks about. I'm not doing. Go ahead.
That's all right. We'll find it. And I'm gonna tell you this too. Queen 3 and King, over the years that we've been doing this, we steal a lot of topics from them. I'm not kidding you. We'll watch Man Talk Monday, and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna talk about that too. Because the topics are so good. So you won't be disappointed. I promise you. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all for joining us. We appreciate the time. We appreciate the chat room. CJ and Weta, Derek, Keisha, all of y'all, we appreciate you. Stay tuned, and we will to other BS3 Network programming. We'll see y'all next week on another episode of Queen 3 and King.
Bye.
We see you looking, want beef, then we cooking. Bro, bring the hook in. Queen 3 and King, we the team, it's going down. We the talk of the town, it's going down. We royalty, wear our crowns, it's going down. Tune in now, it's going down, it's going down. We just hit you with another one. It's going down, we just hit you with another one. It's going down, we just hit you with another one. Tune in now, we just hit you with another one. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King. It's Queen 3 and King.